Okay, so welcome to Mastering Google's AI Ecosystem. This is continuation of previous session I did with regard to the ecosystem for Google, which is quite vast. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to go into some of the products. I'm just going to take a couple of them and go a little bit more into a demo. Whereas the last time we talked more from a high level as to what what products made up those ecosystems. So on that note, I'm actually just going to do a quick review of that. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Wayne Hinds, technology specialist, AI consultant, and the author of the book Reclaiming Digital Gold, which is all about data and how AI essentially needs data, and we're the producers of data. So the book is actually in the revision. We're producing a second edition of that book, which will be out very shortly. And so that's a little bit about me. You need to get a hold of me. These are my links. You can reach me. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to the website reclaimingdigitalgold.com. All right, and just to recap of the ecosystem, last time we got together, I mentioned about the five jobs, essentially five major categories. You know, it can assist and automate, which includes some of these products in here. I'm not going to go through all of these again, but just want to cover off the main buckets. So assist and automate through Gemini and some of the counterparts, as well as research and learn, which is NotebookLM. We're gonna actually do a demo with Gemini and NotebookLM in today's session. And you can create visuals with primarily Nano Banana is kind of the leader there, but there's a couple of others here, as well as video and audio, which Flow is really just a great video producing tool. And we'll leave that for a future session, but that's one of the major buckets when in this ecosystem here. And then we'll have what tools to use to run your business and creating brands and images, etc. Is under this category here. So Gemini. Gemini is Google's flagship AI assistant. Everybody's heard about ChatGPT. Everybody's heard about Claude and so on. Well, Gemini, you don't need to pay a penny for it because it's already included in your package. If you have access to Google, which we all do, it's included. And so a lot of people are not aware of the fact that you can use Gemini for chat, writing, analyzing, and various reasoning projects that you may have. Okay, so I'm going to show a quick demo of that. Again, very simple. People are running out and thinking that they have to buy tokens and buy credits and all of this. And Gemini is a powerful tool that sets it on their phones and in their on the computer, accessible to them at any time. And then NotebookLM is another one. Notice I skipped over the other one. I'm just going to focus on the ones that I'm actually going to demo today. All right, NotebookLM, which is your AI researcher, right? And here you can upload wads of documents to it and videos and so on, and it will do the analysis. Yes, Gemini is for free, right? To answer that question. And so you can create podcasts out of this tool, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. Okay, and so this is another one Google's product, which we'll just talk about, but I'll refer to it as Learn Your Way, and that's a personalized learning, and we can do a demo of that in the future. And then another one of my favorites is Nano Banana, which is an AI image generator, and you can edit the image also too. So AI image generators, create and edit images and by simply describing the changes that you want. Okay, and it's fast, it's precise, and it's powerful. But let's jump right into the demo of that. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Gemini, and then we'll go over to NotebookLM for this session. So let me just pause my sharing, and then we'll bring up the screen. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to share the screen to bring up our NotebookLM. All right. So for Gemini, this is a powerful free tool that's available to everyone. And when I say free, I mean completely free. There isn't extra tokens to buy. There isn't anything that you need to go out and actually do any kind of configuration because it's included directly with Google on there. So let's start with just a simple text here. Before we actually begin on this, okay? As I said, it sits inside your Google account. I didn't do any special sign in. Essentially, it's your personal assistant that's available to you always. So let's give it a real job, okay? Not any kind of party trick, and let's just do something that's practical. So I'm going to throw this prompt in here. I've already pre-loaded the prompt, so I'm going to throw this one here and say, you are a marketing assistant. Write 3 short promotional email subject lines and 4-sentence email inviting a small business owners to a free webinar on Google's AI. All right, so let's give that. Okay, friendly, no hype, clear, and call to action. All right, and notice what I did here. I gave it the role, marketing assistant, write a subject line in email, and the style. I want friendly, no hype. Okay, that's the whole secret in getting good results. In a previous session, we talked about the Harvard review that said that context is everything. 40% of AI quality comes from context that you give it. So it's very, very important that you give it the right context. So here's a simple email that came back, right? No hype, just um, something very straightforward. Okay, so and we just keep talking to it. All right, so now, okay, I did that in just a few seconds, as you can see. Okay, it's not anything elaborate, but it's just giving you how powerful the tool is. So I said, make the tone a bit more energetic and shorten the email in 3 sentences. Okay.
So
And there
Wayne,
you
are you
go.
sharing your screen right now?
I am. Yes. Let me double check that. So you're not seeing my screen? Are you seeing my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So at the top, I said, your marketing assistant, write the 3 short promotional email subject lines, and there's the results there. And then I continued to talk to it and said, make the tone a bit more energetic and shorten it to 3 sentences. And there you can see the response. Okay. So it also gave me 3 subject line options. All right. So that's very straightforward, power and very powerful AI chat that's available to us through Google, which is, as I said, Google's Gemini that everybody has access to. All right. So now that we've done that, let's go to image creation. And that's we're going to do Google's Nano Banana. So it's Google Nano Banana. Okay, and you can have access to that directly through Google's AI Studio. There's a number of different ways that you can get access to it. All right. And in the main menu of Google's AI Studio, you can see here on the left-hand side, you can click on images, that's the banana, or you can click on videos to do videos. So we're going to just do images. And here is where we can ask it to create an image. So now Let me just pull up a test, okay, and I'm going to copy and paste this in here. Now, Gemini can create images. It's nicknamed Nano Banana because there's no Photoshop, there's no design skills that's required here. You just describe what you want. So let's have some fun with it. I'm going to copy and paste this prompt in here. Again, I've already pre-scripted these prompts. So let's go in here and we're going to go, let's create something business owners could actually use, like a clean promo graphic. So what I'm asking it here is to create a bright professional social media graphic for a webinar called Mastering Google AI Ecosystem. Okay, modern, clean, navy, orange with friendly laptop and light bulb theme. So let's click on that. Again, this is another tool that's completely free, and it's included in your Google account. So notice that I'm describing it like I'm designing it to like I'm what I would be giving a designer. Okay, I'm giving it the color, I'm giving it the mood, I'm giving it the layout, and the more specific I'm giving it even close, very, very close, and as it lands, as very close as I want it to be able to land. So, okay, this is the image that you're seeing here. Okay, made from a single sentence. Now, if you're a sole entrepreneur, who's going out searching the internet for stock images, or writing what you want to a designer, to create every little graphic, imagine what you can do in 1 week. So here you can see the image that was created just with that one prompt. Mastering the Google AI ecosystem, a webinar, and it's got a PC in there, and I can even do a little bit more in editing the specifics on this. All right. If you notice on here, it's got the date and time. I didn't give it the specific date and time, so I could actually come back to it and edit and just speak to it and edit that. But let's do something else. Let's copy and I'm going to pick it. I've already scripted these prompts, so I'm asking it to change the background to a warm sunrise and make the color scene teal and gold instead. So just clicking on that, and it will take the same document or the same image and will modify it for me on the fly just by me speaking to it. Okay, so no layers, right? No selecting things with a mouse. I just told it what to change. This is the change. The change, and it's really just called conversation editing. That's really the new term nowadays. You keep refining it until it's right by speaking to it. All right? Yeah. So one quick honest note I wanted to just draw your attention to that all AI generated images, sometimes, there may be a small detail that gets wrong. There, if it's a person that you're creating, sometimes there may be a tiny hands or there may be, issue with the logo. Always give it a quick check before you distribute it. Make sure that it's exactly what you want. Because once you publish it, that's it. Okay. You should always trust and verify any of these things that get created by AI. I'll give you a personal situation. I was creating a flyer for a webinar that I was having with a partner, and we both took our pictures and we both and the pictures we put them on the flyer, and all the text was perfect. The picture initially wasn't necessarily in the right place I wanted it. So I spoke to it. I worked on the flyer. So I spoke to the changes that I want, and it made the changes on the on the text. But as I requested more changes, I noticed that the image itself was changing slowly. And the more changes I was requesting, I didn't ask for any changes to the image, but I noticed that the image was actually looking less and less like me. So those are the little things, but you've got to catch them when you look at them. That doesn't always happen, but again, that's just an example that actually that I experienced, and I was no, it's a good thing I caught it because, as I said, it was changing the image a little bit by on its own as I gave it more instructions to what to change. All right, so that's Google's Nano Banana image generator, free image generator, and it's a very powerful little tool that you can use to create images and graphics. And so let's do one more thing with the image here. I have an image of myself. Give me a moment. Okay. I'm going to just upload this image. Okay. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to ask it to do something different with my image. So give me a moment. Let me just copy and paste the prompt in here. Okay, so I've already pre-scripted this prompt. And I'm taking my image. You can do this with your images too, okay? And I'm going to upload it, which I've done here. And then I'm going to actually just, because of the newest models that it's created, I wanted to create a nice professional headshot with a background, something that I can use on, say, a business card or even to, for my um, distribution. So I'm saying turn this into a professional headshot with a clean, modern office background and a soft studio lighting. Keep my face and appearance exactly the same. And here you can see that it just took my image and it created whatever background that I wanted. So I'm going to do one more thing with this. I'm going to say, okay, now put a bookshelf, okay, behind me. And put me in front or behind a desk. Behind a desk. So changing the setting just a bit. An office desk. Okay. And one of the things you should always note with these images that are created by Google's Gemini is that it has a watermark on it, which is Google's way of ensuring that full transparency. That there you can see the little watermark there showing up. Okay, that just showing that it's an AI generated image. So you want to be cognizant of that. Okay. Now here you see it took my picture, and it just a matter of seconds it put me just as I asked, but behind a desk, the computer there, and there's a nice little bookshelf behind that. All right. I can also use this for a variety of things. And I can also bring this to life if I wanted to under Google's Gemini. So let's pause on this and we'll come back to the image in a second. But for the benefit of this demo, I'm going to go on to our Google Notebook LM. Okay. So we've covered off the chat, which is Gemini, free chat. We've covered off the image generator, which is Nano Banana. And now we're going to create documents, or I should say analyze documents. We're not going to create them, we'll analyze documents. You can create as many documents under Google Gemini, and then I'll show you here how Notebook LM works. So Gemini actually has access to the entire internet. So anything you do, you can ask it to go and search, and it will go on, and that basically is where it would get most of its information from. What's different about LM, Google's Notebook LM, is that essentially it's your research library. So it's the context is all the context that you give it, all the documents and information that you give it, and only that's the only source. So it doesn't go out and search the internet. So the only world that it knows is what you supply it. So I'm going to upload a business document here. Okay, I've got a sample business report. Okay, and it's going to then take that document, essentially ingest it, analyze it, and then give me a quick summary. I didn't give it any specifics other than to just learn about the document. So essentially, it's being trained on the documents that I give it. Now, I can give it PDF, I can give it Word, I can give it videos, I can give it links to YouTube channels, I can give it to a variety of sources, and um, and then it will do the analysis for me. So here you can see with this document, Tech Forward Solutions Q4 2025 Digital Marketing Performance Report. Basically, just summarize the document for me here and put that in there. So I can ask it any question I want now that it's now that it's ingested the document. So let's just ask it a couple of questions and see how quickly we get the results on this. So I've got this couple of prompts here that I'm going to put in. All right, this one, let's say, what are the three most important takeaways from the document? So let's go ahead and see what it comes back with. So here you go. In a matter of seconds, it's essentially analyzed the document and came away with the three important takeaways: strong growth in reach versus declining conversion efficiency. Number one. Number two, LinkedIn and targeted contents are high performers. And number three, a strategic pivot for personalization and new mediums. Then it gives me the biggest risk to consider. So this is the type of analysis that would take, you could, do it yourself, and it would take you, hours to do that because you would read the document and summarize it and then go back and forth through it. But here's one of the key things with this analysis here. If you notice that it gave the source, so it's bringing up the actual places that it found the information. And this is really amazing because you're getting the document, not only are you getting a summary of it, but you're getting the citations, you're getting the exact citations in the document where to find it. And these are clickables, of course, linkable, I should say. Okay, so you can click to view the source and it will bring it up there directly for you on the left-hand side. This is an incredibly powerful tool that's completely free because it lives in the Google world. All right, and that's part of the ecosystem. So there's just a high-level review of Google's
Your Google Home isn't set up yet. To get
ecosystem.
started, download the
Yeah.
Google Home app on your phone or
I haven't set up
tablet.
my Google Home yet, as you can see. All right. So one additional thing I'm going to do before we wrap this up is we're going to convert this to a podcast. So over here, there's a number of options available to you that you can take the document, you can convert it to an audio, you can convert it to a slide deck, you can even do a video, and of course a mind map. There's different ways, and I won't go into each one of these in this session here, but you can certainly play around with them and create a report, flashcards. You can do a quiz. This is really good if you've got like a lot of documents that you need to go through, and perhaps even for educational purposes, you want to create lectures or you want to create materials that's easily distributed out of the vast amount of documents that you have. That's how you do that. So I'm going to, in this case, create an audio, and when I say here, I can generate a podcast with a live conversation between two hosts. Okay, I can do that. I can choose the language. I can't choose the voices in this particular tool, but it'll choose the voices for me. But again, I can do it in any language. And then here I can also choose a brief, maybe just give me a bite size. I can critique it, give me maybe a critique of the document or a debate. So these are options that are available, and then it gives you, the short. You can choose your options as the short, as long, or it's just the various sources that are available to you here. So let's choose just use the default for now, and let's generate it. All right. So while that is generating, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. But while that's generating, are there any questions that come to mind while we're doing this? I'm just checking the chat to see if there's anything in there. Oh, I don't see anything. Okay, so this will take a couple of minutes to run. That's the one thing about the Notebook LM when it comes to converting it to an audio, is that it does take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. Okay, yeah, it's still running. So let's just give it a few more minutes. And so this podcast that is creating is really just two voices that is completely AI generated. So it's unique. There is no license to worry about. It's just creative and innovative, and it's a great way to present the content. So you could take the audio that's generated from this, and you can certainly distribute it if you like. In fact, in the last session, I showed what I did with my book, and I actually created a podcast summarizing the first edition of my book between two AI agents. And so this is the same type of thing that's gonna happen here with this particular document. So I will. It's still producing the file, so I'm gonna take some questions, and then we'll get back to it as soon as it's finished, because it's just gonna, and then we'll play it and you can hear what it sounds like, but it is still producing that file. And it looks like it's going to take a little longer than I anticipated. Okay. Any questions or comments? I'm just looking through the chat there, see if there's anything that. Nope. I don't see any questions. Okay. All right. So when this is finished, we'll play it, and I'm not sure how much longer it's going to take. I did have one that I
did have a question, Wayne.
Yeah, go ahead.
The podcast that it creates is completely audio.
Yeah.
So it can't do any sort of it can't do a visual podcast, or can you create like in the exact same way that you created a digital image of yourself, you can't create a digital version of yourself speaking in the podcast, or it doesn't do that.
Yes, you can, but you wouldn't do that with this tool. Think of this tool as just creating the voice, and in the case of the conversation that goes on, it's completely determined by Google LM, Notebook LM. It doesn't. You can't choose the voice, and you can't choose what it says. Now, there are other tools that you can use to do that. HeyGen is one of those, for example, or 11 Labs. 11 Labs is another tool. These are outside. These are not Google at all. These are all separate tools by separate companies. So you can certainly take the content if you want, and you could then use your voice and say, "I'd like to use it to marry those two together." But that's another tool that will allow you to do that. So the answer is you can't do that with Google Notebook LM, but you can do that with other tools. It's a good question, though. Really good question, because that's nowadays AI, is you're able to clone yourself and duplicate your voice, and that's a classic use of how you would do that. Okay. It's taking a little longer here, guys, so I have to wait. I'm at its mercy as to how long it's going to take. I did create another, and I was just hoping that I'd be able to pull that up, but I don't have it handy. So what I will do is I will show you my channel where I actually created a similar thing with my book, as I mentioned. So let me do that now. Okay. So while we're waiting for that, let's
Come back.
start. Okay.
Today we're going to be doing a
So
deep dive on something that I think is really relevant to a lot
here's
of
my
people these
book.
days. It's how to own your digital
And
presence in
this is
this
the
crazy
podcast that
age of
came from
AI.
NotebookLM.
Yeah.
And
Okay, and so might be a little hard to hear.
we're going to be taking Wayne Hinds' Digital Mastery mini course as our guide.
Okay.
But, we're not just going to summarize it.
Right.
We're going to extract the gold.
Absolutely. It's about going deeper than just the surface level.
Right.
Most people, when they think about their digital footprint, they're thinking about privacy.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is, of course, extremely important.
Yeah.
But Hinds really takes it a step further.
Okay.
He wants us to think about our data as an asset.
Interesting.
Almost like an income source,
So not just hiding from the internet, but actually making it work for us.
Exactly.
That's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
But I think before we even get to making money from our data,
right.
Hinds really breaks down how valuable our data already is.
Yeah.
Companies are practically drooling over this stuff.
That's right. And, it's not just about those creepy targeted ads anymore.
Right.
Companies are using this data to predict what we're going to do before we even know it.
That's kind of scary.
It is a little bit creepy. Think about sentiment analysis.
Okay.
They can figure out how we feel about something based on what we're posting online.
What?
Okay. So that's how I used it for my book. Just as an example. Did that example come across clear?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Okay. Oh, good to hear. Good. Okay. So that's a classic example of how you'd use that. This is still generating here. It's going to take a little while to actually produce that final file. So we won't have enough time to actually play it. But what I did there is showed you a number of things. One is we took Gemini, which is a free Google chat that's available to everyone, and interact with it like you would with any other chatbot. And we went over to Nano Banana, which is Google's free image generator, and we created the images that we had.
Can I interrupt for a second? Sorry, I just wanted to ask.
Go ahead. Yeah, jump right in. Yeah.
I noticed in the example that you just played, their responses were a little bit quick, as if you can tell it was AI. Can you manipulate the timing on that or no?
In what? In the images or in
the voices?
The voices?
Yeah.
So you can actually edit the final product if you like. Or what you could do is you can go in and specify the speed at which that it's playing. Now, if you use another tool, there's other tools out there like 11 Labs as an example, where it's strictly an audio generating tool, a voice generating tool. You can specify a number of settings on it, including how fast a person speaks, how the intonations of it. All of that is customizable in a tool that's like 11 Labs, which is all about the voice creation. In NotebookLM, it's only what you get. What you get is your final product, is what's been created. You can then take that, though, and you can go and you can do some manipulation and editing on it. I wouldn't recommend that, because it's really meant to just be out of the box usage, like I just showed you for my book. Oh, there it is. So it did generate. All right, so let's play and see what it came up with. And again, you saw the test, the prompt that I gave it.
You know, when you look at the dashboard of a growing business, there is this expectation that green arrows always mean good news.
Right, yeah. We love seeing green.
Exactly. You log in, you see, your social media followers are up, your website traffic is spiking, your engagement is just through the roof. It's a very comforting feeling. It feels like you're winning.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, we are naturally wired to celebrate those visible, immediate signs of growth.
Yeah.
It gives this illusion of momentum. But the problem is, dashboards are designed to make you feel good, not necessarily to tell you the truth.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because eventually you have to step into the world of actual unit economics. And suddenly, that beautiful green dashboard might be hiding a massive structural problem. And we're looking at a situation today for you that is like the absolute definition of a growth illusion.
Yeah, and before we jump into the specifics, let's just make sure we are all on the same page about unit economics because,
Okay, so I'm going to pause or actually stop it there because just in the interest of time, you can see that as a default, it came up with the male and the female, it came up with the voices. Unless I change to another language and so on, you could hear maybe a different variation of that. But with NotebookLM, you don't get to choose, the configuration of the voice. You don't get to choose, is it two males or is it a male and a female? You're getting a default conversation in terms of the voices and the people. It's designed that way because it's really meant to just give you information, right? And then show you what the capabilities of the tools are. It's incredibly powerful because you can upload as many documents as you want, and then you can have it get translated into different languages. You can have it summarized. You can have it in slides. You can have it in video summary. So the variety of things that it can be done with all these documents that you can have the system ingest. So this was meant really just to give you a taste of what you can do with a tool like Google NotebookLM. It's incredibly powerful and it's for free. And a lot of people are not aware of this. So I would encourage you to just take some time and play around with it, and you'd be surprised at what you can accomplish with this tool. Let's see.
Let's go back and ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
You said that you could upload a video to it and it could do a video as well. It doesn't just have to be text.
Yes, that's correct. So you can actually connect a video. You can upload your own personal videos if you like, or video sources, I should say, and it will analyze the context of it. You can give it YouTube links or Google Docs. Any of those sources where you want it to actually analyze, you just feed it into the system, and then it will go ahead and summarize it.
Great, thank you.
No problem. All right. Okay, so just to close off, if there aren't any more questions, just want to remind you that if you would like to get in touch with me, you can certainly book a call with me. You can go to my Calendly and book a meeting there. And also remind you about my upcoming book, the second revision of Reclaiming Digital Gold, which is also available in a couple of weeks. It'll be available. And so what we're also doing is we're including a scanner, a digital footprint scanner that will allow you to be able to go out and see what the internet knows about you. And that will be a part of the package of Reclaiming Digital Gold, the second edition. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for that. You can actually go to digitalfootprintscanner.com and sign up for that scanner when it comes out. All right, that's it. If there isn't any other questions or comments, let me just stop sharing.